Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Monday, March 24th, 2014. All right, for today, we have the PMI Manufacturing Index Flash, which is just like a mid-quarter, mid-month, I don't know, something. Not the actual report, just a little peek at what might be coming, I guess you might say. But that's about it for announcements today. Let's go and take a look at what's going on across the ponds. Over in Asia was a very, very good day. Green across the board. If you are a bull, you are very happy over there. And in Europe, if you are a bear, you're pretty happy there. Hey, that rhymes. At the moment, anyway. At lunchtime over there. Which may be an indication of which way we might be headed for today. But we won't know until really today is over. Alright, let's go and take a look at, I'm doing some messing around here. I'm going to leave that just the way that it is for right now. We are looking green across the board for our open. Pretty solidly green, I guess you might say. I don't know why Europe's so bad. Maybe something has hit the news over there regarding Ukraine. I'm a little afraid of what might be happening over there. And what could happen, remember those fingers on the button kind of thing, from back in the 50s and 60s. A little worried about that. Here we have gold down quite a bit today. Actually, almost heading towards the 1300 mark again. And oil is creeping up almost to $100 a barrel. All right, take a look at what is going on across all accounts. There is nothing actually, we don't look at these, right? Remember that? There's nothing actually in my CSSV2 account, and I've had a lot of people asking me, sending me emails and saying, hey, what happened to CSSV2? Well, I could tell you pretty much what happened. Let's take a look at the ES, just as an example. We've been going through the A+ list, and things just have not been happening. But as you can see here, I get rid of that. As you can see here, we've been pretty much range bound. And when we're range bound, and we have moving averages, the 50 going red and then going green and then not giving us any entries, and then finally we do get an entry and it fails us, and then we have to wait for the next cycle. So maybe now, but it's really flat. Momentum is hanging around the zero line. We're not getting confirmations. We might be getting setups, but we're not getting confirmations. And even when we do get confirmations, they're failing the next day, giving us exit signals. So I've just been staying away for right now until we get more of a solid trend like what we had back here. This little blip, this pullback here definitely bothered us, and then coming up here for a new high, and then not being able to come back and test and bounce off the 50, and then not being able to come back up there, retest that, and break out of it. Just is telling me that there's a lot of indecision in the market right now. So the thing that I fall back on, one of the things you can do is iron condors, but for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just not good at iron condors. I don't know why. But I do find, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples now, that calendars are a little bit more fun to play with. And what I've been doing is using this stochastic here to tell me which direction and over what time frame I should put my calendar in. So for instance, this whole cycle here, all the way down and then coming back up again, started here and then it came down and then it came back up. So if I'm looking for a calendar for a week, I would be going with a put calendar along here, because we have a hook down, momentum's down, and the moving average, well actually the EMA crossed the SMA, but that's not in my rules, but it's just something to take a look at. Still is kind of creeping up generally overall, so you could say, well, sometime in the future it's probably going to come back pretty close. So if you want to go out even further with a calendar, you can. You can do calendars with an expiration of this week, and for the short side, and the long side can be out, into April or May if you want to. You have a lot of options with calendars, depending on how much money you want to throw out there and what kind of risk you want to take. So that's why there's still sort of directional trades, and they become very nice when it comes to earnings season. And we can't see that here, but let's go over to, let's jump to the A+ list right now, and we'll go to Apple. Apple's earnings are always pretty interesting. And one of the ways that you can take a look at that is to go over to the time axis and say, I want to pad this 50 candles or 50 days out into the future. So we have Apple's earnings here on 4/22. So you think Apple's just going to kind of hang around here until then? You could say that. So if you do an April, say an April-May calendar, I'm going to go to April, and we want to look at one kind of, well, let's see here. Where are we headed, do we think? Man, this is flat. Look at this. There is no momentum in Apple right now. So you think that that's going to last for a while. Let's take a look at an April at the money calendar. So that would cost you $385 for that calendar. Now the thing about calendars is that as IV increases, and it's not very high right now. Wow, that's amazing. We are looking at Apple. IV is at 13% for. Okay, so this is before earnings. Let's make this the long May. Alright, so that's a little bit. That would be $800. That's not really a very attractive calendar, but for what's going to happen is that we should go the week of expiration here, which is 4/22. So that would be probably, let's see, April 4. There's just really not a lot of IV in this. This is pretty amazing to me at this point. So we know that with calendars, when implied volatility rises, the value of the long starts to go up, but the value of the short, if it's before expiration or before earnings, is going to pretty much remain the same. This one's going to start moving up. So it retains its value a little bit better. So if we were to look at a 535 call, let's take a look at this April 535 call. And I have a call there. That's $8.50. And so when that goes to zero, provided that the April 4 retains its value, 535. You can see that price here. That is the type of situation that is really ideal for a calendar. If we were to do these as separate trades, so we would want to go long on the April 4, 535, and we would want to go short on the April 535, and there you have it right there. And now you can mess around with these. It should give you the same indication here. What the? So the reason why this happens is when you do the calendar, if you do it as a calendar, it's going to give you a midpoint price right here. This is going to be a midpoint price. But when you do them separately like this, then you use the actual bid and the ask prices. And you can see here that there's a pretty big spread on the April one and a huge spread on the April 4. So, you know, if you wanted to take a midpoint here, it would be like 1140, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1180, somewhere around there. So that makes a big difference here as far as calculating that. So that's just the way that the platform works. So this would be, you know, if you could get better prices for this. When you're selling an option, you can deal a little bit better than when you're buying an option. So that should work out that way. But this is something to contemplate as earnings season comes up. So to get back to where we are right now, I wanted to go over this FedEx trade. I'm probably going to do that in a separate video, I think. I go over the FedEx trade and the SPY and what I'm planning on doing with these, because they had the short expired last week on both of these. So now I'm sitting here with an April long, one for a call for the spiders and a put on FedEx. So now it's a matter of, do I want to sell a contract against that to turn it back into a calendar again on FedEx and on spiders? Yes, I'm probably going to do that so that I can start getting closer to a profit on these. And actually, my plan for FedEx will actually bring me into a profitable situation. And the spiders are already unprofitable, and then I'm just going to want to add to it. Alright, so let's jump over to the A+ list and see. Change this time axis back here and see how things are going. So like I mentioned with Apple, here we have it. You know, it's just we're not getting entries here. Yes, we did go down, but it's just too flat. We have no trend here. I'm not going to enter into an at-the-money trade when we're practically at the money every day. It's just not moving off of this 530 level here. It's been hanging around there for almost a month. So I'm not going to do anything with that. I need a nice slope on the moving average. Up or down, doesn't matter. This isn't a very nice slope here. It really is not. But this is a pretty nice looking wave here. I like it when they take more than a couple of days to get through it. But still, there's just no opportunity here, and Apple is just one of many examples that are going to be like that. Amazon, I'm not going to talk about calendars today, I don't think, at all. Amazon, I had a calendar up here. I got out of it early last week. It looked like it was moving up that way, again, from a CSSV2, we get failures, non-confirmations, just crazy stuff all over the place. So now we're waiting for this target up here to see if we can hit that. So I'm going to slide that over just a tad, and we'll wait to see if we come up there and hit that, and then hook down. So there's just not many CSSV2 trades out there. Here's another example. Failures all over the place, just not giving us the entry signals that we need. And it's just a weird market right now. A lot of indecision out there. So I don't see any sort of CSSV2 trade here. I don't see, at least not right now, any sort of calendar that I'd be willing to bet my shorts on. And I think we need the next expiration period in there. So let's go to, let's go to 20. Is that going to give us? No, I think we're going to have to go to 35. No, that's too far. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 should do it. Let's see if it really is 5-day-a-week candles or not. Yes, that'll give us our next earnings. So that's how many candles we're padding this out this way so we can see when earnings are, or at least when the next expiration is, and we can sort of draw a trend line here and say, well, maybe a calendar down here at 115 with maybe an April-May type of expiration may work out. Baidu, we were hoping for a move up here when I entered this. Didn't get it. Now we're looking for a run up here for a CSSV2. Celgene, an interesting character. Again, all sorts of failures along here, just not giving us the shot up here to get us in with a bear call. We're hoping that we can get it to move up here. It's just not acting like it was in the past. So now we have to adjust. Alright, so here was an opportunity, a missed opportunity on Chipotle that we missed last week. But the reason why we missed it is because we had a failure here. So it didn't figure for a CSSV2. Costco, we're moving up here. It looks like we may be approaching a possible trigger point on Costco this week. So we'll keep an eye on that. Nothing to get excited about yet at this time. Same thing for this CVX calendar that I have down here at 110 for this expiration. So we're looking for it to move down there, and if we follow the moving average down, it should come down to be being pretty close to that. And that particular expiration on CVX is in April-May. So after May gets close to expiration or does expire on our short, we can go in there and sell something with an expiration date prior to May. Prior to May's monthly expiration. But no CSSV2. We had a nice move here, and we got confirmation, and then it failed the next day. Yes, here we could have gotten in. It may have worked out that week, but again, this is so flat, it's hard to even tell that there's a color change in there. And we're only on CVX. We need to get moving here. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Alright, so it looked like we were heading down here for an entry. It didn't quite come down and give us that entry. We have earnings We have a split on Igor. That's not good. They're probably going to drop off of my A+ list with that. And then we have a dividend coming up. But we're looking for a trigger down here, and we're going to have to wait a while. FedEx. Again, I have a calendar out here. Anticipating that expiration down at that level for a CSSV2. Didn't quite get up here where we wanted it to get up here. Are we in a downtrend or an uptrend? Looks like it might be changing. So nothing there. Nothing making me feel very good. Gold. We have actually a nice hook here, but I can tell you right now that it's not going to work out today. So that's a nice thing about GLD, is it does trade after hours. And it's a good thing this was Friday. I don't want to hold over the weekend. So this would have been a bummer if I would have gotten in on Friday. So nothing going on there. Google, alright, it's down here. We now are looking for a trigger on that. So this is a setup. Not sure exactly if that's going to work out or not. Looking at, I mean, this is a pretty big red candle here, and after hours it just didn't do anything either, so that one may not work out. IWM. Okay, we're looking for a setup here, moving down towards our target. We'll see if we get there. March, April calendar. That definitely did not work out. I got out of that one. LinkedIn. Worked out very nice for a calendar. So we're happy with that one. Now we have a alert that we should set up on this. So I'm going to throw an alert on there. Alright, MasterCard. MasterCard was looking pretty flat too. It did not have a very good day on Friday. 79 down to 76. That's $3. That's a pretty big move. We have a new downtrend here. Okay, so now we're looking for a hook up here. New downtrend. Definitely a full cycle going through on that. And we have a dividend coming up. Okay. 3M. All sorts of failures and flatlining on the MACD. So nothing going on with 3M. Is there a calendar somewhere in the future for 3M? By the way, earnings season is out here starting in April, towards the end of April. So we'll have to watch out for that. Nothing going on. Really hard to determine what's going on there. Netflix, directional trades are really hard to find right now. We had an alert on this. I'm going to take it off because apparently we were looking for a bull put kind of a trade for a directional credit spread. Just didn't give it to us. We actually had a failure in here, so it doesn't really qualify for a CSSV2. Looks like it's coming down again, but we're gonna cancel this alert. It is going to let me cancel it, yes. Okay. So nothing going on there. Priceline. Failures. We could have a lot of them that did this, which prevented us from having a good setup. So is this good enough? We might kind of keep an eye on it. I have a bad feeling about Priceline right now. I shouldn't let feelings interfere, but they do. Spiders. Okay, I have this March, April, and the March expired, so now I'm thinking of selling probably like another 190 call against it. I don't think it's going to work out, but we'll see. Tesla, just thinking about it. All right, Tesla, we have a setup. We'll see if we get a hook. Let's see, we got some trades today. Yeah, we probably will get a hookup today on that, at least at the open. Just be careful. Wait till this afternoon to trade on that. Holy schmoly. Wow, what a range. 232 to 219. That's quite a range. And then they end up pegged right around 223. That's very strange. Definitely, well, we're in an uptrend here, so we actually, technically we have to say we have a setup here, but I'm really afraid of this moving average. It's just too flat. Too flat. Too much too range bound here. Not really interested. So I'm going to take a pass on that. All right. Sorry for the length today, but I always like Mondays because it's the beginning of a new trading week, and I'm always kind of excited on Mondays. So hopefully everybody else is too. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. Happy trading, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.